All right, Coach, coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports brings us to Southern California and Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Cleveland Browns and our home team. Here's Michael Badgley now to get this one started. And we are underway in Southern California. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go. Good thing. 180. Mark 49. I got run. Shit. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Alert, alert! Regular. Check.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Graham. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Hey, alert! Go!
From the gun, Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. A big play that time for Cleveland. 45 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Hey, alert! Watch the twins.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu.
2nd and 10 at the 27-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
King. I got him. Check back 12.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Run.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of Week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Check 180. Check 53 is mine. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Hey, check.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Mike 53, come to my world. We want it. Come to my world. Hey, 18. Crash. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Hill. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season. Tackling, because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot, plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. Yeah, he'll find Hall. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 40. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Now Trubisky on first down. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
180. All right, T, let's go. All right, T. Check the hot read.
Now Gordon on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, let's get this. You go tight. You got tight right there. Switch.
They'll try the right side this time here with Gordon. It's a first down and more for Gordon. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers...
Oh, it's intercepted. He's trying to give it to Ridley. Picked off by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And he will score. Touchdown, LA. Short throw, pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. Watch the whip. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out, watch out. Watch out. Alert, 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 alert. Hey, Haywood. Watch out.
To throw, Mayfield. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Kill. Kill. Shoot. Watch out.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
Fielded at the 20. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Browns' 42-yard line.
180. I'm scared. Hey, alert. Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic.
Throwing on second down. Trubisky is going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. In for the score. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. In racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Let's go, D. Let's go. Regular. 12 the mic. So don't say no.
Throwing. Mayfield completes it to Aguilar. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Check.
A first down throw from Mayfield. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Come on, QB, come on.
Here's Mayfield. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards, a first down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check 52. Hey, alert. Pistol.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Get ready.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend.
Hey, Delta. Mike 12. Watch twist.
Mayfield on first down. And he completes it to Hunt. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
That's what I
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. A quick pass out to Aguilar. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. 22 yards there, a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll throw this out wide and complete it to Ridley. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Now a give right side. It's Grant. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
49's the mic. Watch 49. You don't want to run. Hey, you don't want to see me.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. On the move to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing on 2nd and long. Trubisky throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hall. The 30. The 20. 10. Touchdown, LA. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play.
I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Anybody's coming, watch him, watch him. Single, 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 single. Check, check, check. One touch.
He'll have a first down past the 40, and he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Regular, regular, regular. Pull it together. Watch the edge. Watch out.
They'll run on first down. And they'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Like that. 180. I can't believe they let you play. Hey, alert, 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 alert. Check. Check out.
They go jet sweep here with Chark, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
Hey, alert, 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 alert. 49's the mark, 49's the mark. Alert, 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 alert.
On 3rd down, here's Hunt. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Charger drive about to get going, and they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And going deep for Hill. Oh, wide open, complete. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. A big play there for L.A. 61 yards. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Badgley on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Kings. 49, guys. Mike. 49.
Mayfield to throw it. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started, and they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
You ain't doing nothing today. Hey, alert 3.
On first down, Hunt. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
At the 47-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Coming this way. Here we go. Switch. Point it right. Check 4. Tight nail, alert 33.
They'll run again with Hunt. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt, 53 yards. And the Browns are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Extra point by Seibert, up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great effort there. 69 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one.
Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Grant. Yeah, he's upended after a gain of 4, up to the 25-yard line.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And some room to run now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Browns.
Set, 180. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Check 26.
They'll run on first down. It's Hunt. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
All day. All day.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Browns on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He's at the 30. 10. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
The Charger drive about to get going. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?"
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Trubisky. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 yards there, 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, ball. Watch Mike. Get him.
Oh, Trubisky going to throw. Able to get this to Gordon. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it,
and this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Through an opening, and there he goes. A big play there on the catch and run. 77 yards. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football, where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for the home team here, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.